So I just took a screenshot from your assignment. So this is number 1 from the assignment. So we're not wasting any time. You don't have to write anything extra. We'll just do it together. So SOHCAHTOA is the phrase to help you remember trigonometry. In trigonometry, sine, cosine, and tangent, those are just special names that represent putting two signs on top of each other, dividing two sides of a triangle. That's what it is, dividing two sides of a triangle. The first one's called sine, S-I-N-E. We call it sine, but it is so long that we decided we need abbreviation. So our abbreviation is S-I-N. We still call it sine. There's no sinning in math. It is sine. And there's always an angle that that sine is of. And I'm going to call that angle theta, and I'll write the word up here, theta. It's occasionally there might be like angle A or something like that, but since this triangle is not labeled, I'm going to call it sine theta. And we always find the sine of the angle. We always find the sine of the angle by putting the opposite side length over the hypotenuse. Length. So I always do sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So in this picture here we have a 45-degree angle. Here it is, 45-degree angle. Opposite of 45 degrees is the side that does not touch that angle. So there's two sides, B and A, that make that angle. The third side that does not touch the angle is opposite, which is 2 square root 2. So we are finding the sine of 45 degrees. We put 2 square root 2, and then we put that over, and did you guys find the hypotenuse? See, to do the hypotenuse, we had to do side x multiplied by another square root 2. So we get 2 times 2, which is 4. So sine 45, we do 2 square root 2 over 4, and we're always going to simplify these, and I get square root of 2 over 2. That is my sine of 45 degrees. And we have to do cosine. So to find the cosine, we use ka. By the way, cosine, there's the whole word. It's very long, so we abbreviate it as COS, but we still call it cosine. Don't call it cos. I'll be like, what? Cosine of theta is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. The adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So the adjacent side, in this picture here, I didn't write opposite here. The adjacent side would be the side that is touching the angle, that forms the angle, but not the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is A. The adjacent side must be B. So for cosine 45, we're going to put the adjacent side, which is also 2 square root 2, over the hypotenuse, which is still 4. We will reduce that to square root 2 over 2. And then tangent. Tangent is TOA. It is always of an angle. We do tangent of theta. It's always of an angle, so we have to have an angle that goes with that. Tangent is the opposite divided by the adjacent. So if you do not remember SOHCAHTOA at all from last year or the year before, sine, opposite, hypotenuse, that's the SOH. Cosine is CAH. Tangent is TOA. That's just a weird saying to help us know what sine, cosine, and tangent are. SOHCAHTOA. Can you guys say it with me? No, I'm the only person talking. Let's try that again. SOHCAHTOA. Why am I making you say it out loud? Help you memorize it. I know it. Let's say it again. SOHCAHTOA. Okay. So tangent for this 45-degree angle here is going to be the opposite of the 45, which is 2 radical, oops, wrong marker. 2 radical 2 over the adjacent, which is also 2 radical 2, which is 1. Okay? Now, what does it say in the directions about sine, cosine, and tangent for this worksheet? It says, find sine, cosine, and tangent of each given angle in lowest simplified fractions. Okay, so it's just the one that was given to you. You don't have to do for every single angle in the triangle. So you only have to do sine, cosine, and tangent one time for each triangle. One more example I have, I took a picture of number 7. So we do the exact same stuff with number 7. So we're going to do the sine, and then what angle are we going to use for this one? 60. It's the one that is given to you. 60 degrees, cosine, 60 degrees, and tangent, 60 degrees. So I didn't fill this one out yet. The shortest side out of the 3 of these is the y side. That has to be half of the hypotenuse. So 8, and then that means my middle side is going to be 8 square root 3. So sine of 60 is opposite of 60 degrees. If this is 60 right here, what side length does not touch 60? Caleb, what side does not touch 60? 8, yeah. 8 square root 3, and then we put that over the hypotenuse, 16. The 8 and the 16 can reduce, so we get square root of 3 over 2. Have I pulled out a calculator yet? No. So you notice none of my answers are decimals. We're doing this not with no calculator. Cosine 60 degrees would be the adjacent to 60. The adjacent to 60 is touching 60, but not the hypotenuse. Chris, what's the adjacent? Adjacent to the 60-degree angle is one of the sides. So 8. And then we put that over the hypotenuse, 16, and we get a half. And then I need the tangent of 60, so we need to put the opposite over the adjacent. And the opposite I've already listed was 8 square root 3. It was the first one. The adjacent is 8. I can reduce that, and I get square root 3. So you'll go back and you'll finish those for 1 through 18. Okay? If you guys already have your second set of notes up and ready, you can work on this. I don't have my second set of notes up and ready yet, but we're going to go to our second set of notes in just a moment.